Hey.
What's up there, Ed?
All right.
Let me see what I got going here.
All right, you and your Tupac. I'm early.
Turn that on off here. How you doing?
I'm fine. I just got in the house. I was out with my grandson.
We got Garland here. I don't know if he's hooked up yet. Make sure I get my multiple shares going so you be ready. Doing my little thing.
I'm up here working on my genealogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell you, I work on it every day.
Hey man, hey, I'm with you. Let me see if I can. Let me get this on off of here. Get back.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'm coming back out of it.
That's Garland.
There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Garland, how you doing?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Fine. I wanted to introduce you to Eddie Henderson.
Okay, good to meet you, Eddie. Good to meet you, Eddie.
All right, good to meet you. Right. Where are you from?
Good meeting you as well, sir. From Houston, Texas.
From where?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, you down in my home area.
Yes, sir.
I was Prairie.
Actually, okay. What year?
79. I graduated.
Okay. 79?
Mm-hmm.
I may know some of your classmates, fraternity brothers of mine.
What fraternity is that?
Omega Psi Phi.
Ah! Nah, that ain't it.
Oh.
That ain't it, bro.
Yes, it is.
Huh?
That is very much so.
I would say I'm 1906, bro.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a camera, or you just on phone?
Garland.
I can hear you. I do have a camera. I'm in the office still. I'm working this weekend, so I was able to join a call, but I won't be able to participate much. I can listen in.
Oh, okay.
But I'm working, so I don't know if it'll be helpful for me to do that or.
No, you can listen. Just tell. I don't know if everybody's gonna be on. I know you got in touch with Jerry, right? Through Jerry.
Yes.
So Jerry. So I'm gonna ask the questions Jerry asked you. Now, what are you looking to do?
So my father was raised by my grandmother's husband, which wasn't his biological father.
Okay.
So basically, I'm just looking to see if I can find out who my blood grandfather is.
Were they from Texas?
I have no idea. I know the only thing I can really pinpoint is where he was conceived, which is around Hearn, Texas, Navasota area, Bryan College Station area. And that's really, I have.
East Texas? By Texarkana, somewhere up in there?
No, not that far east. Maybe more central towards. I guess the nearest town would be College Station. Well, you were in Fairview, so you know.
Yeah.
College Station, Bryan.
Brenham, around in that area.
Brenham, yes, sir. And he was actually living in Hearn. My grandma was living in Hearn, Texas.
Oh, all right. I know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have last name of what we gonna look for?
I don't. I wouldn't know my paternal. I wouldn't know my grandfather. I wouldn't know his last name, and because my father took on the last name of the man that raised him.
Mm-hmm. What about your grandmother? What was your grandmother's name? Last name?
Her name was Hunter.
You a hunter?
Her maiden last name was Hunter.
You a hunter?
No, sir. My last name is Gay. I took on the name of the man that raised.
I'm related to the Hunters.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. I'm related to the Hunters.
Where are you from originally?
Huh?
Where are you from originally?
Originally from Texarkana, Arkansas.
Okay.
Up in East Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was born, but I was raised in California.
Okay.
But in my research, through DNA, I have relatives that are hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And in my DNA listing, I have hunters matching me in my DNA listings also.
Okay.
So that's a start.
Mm-hmm.
But by going one way that you don't know, you can go back and find out exactly where, or find some more information.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I would suggest is that let's pursue your grandmother's side first and see how far you go with that. And then from there, you start digging into it, and you get information as you go for your biological father's side.
I just don't know how I would come across that information because, like I said, from what I understand, the man was kind of transient.
Okay.
And my grandmother was, I think, 19 when she conceived my dad.
Uh-huh.
And all of those people are deceased. And there was an older aunt that I tried to talk to her about it. She did not want to talk about it. So I was kind of left in the dark.
Okay, Garland, thanks for that initial intro and some of your purposes. We have Marquita. She's on, correct?
Yes, Marquita.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine. Could you this is Eddie, Eddie Henderson and Garland Gay. They're two of the group members, and we welcome you. Could you give us a brief reason why you joined Ancestry and what some of your purposes are for doing your research?
Honestly, I just got the test for a birthday present, and I did it to connect with the rest of my family's trees that were on there. And then I found out that I am connected to you guys.
To who guys?
To, I believe.
To our DNA relatives group.
Yes.
To us.
Yes.
Moss?
Yes, Moss. Oh, yeah. I'm from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I've lived in Las Vegas for over 20 years, though. And I was actually raised to be something different. So I'm learning this all very new within the last few days.
Can you pull up your DNA listing? Have you looked at your DNA list altogether?
I've looked at what I can see on the app so far, but no, I haven't got into it too deep yet to understand who's connected to who.
Well, I'll be the ghost cousin.
Huh?
I'm the ghost cousin.
Well, hi, cousin.
So until we look at it, Jerry and I we'll be the ghosts until we figure out what we can do with you. But so your family is from Georgia? Do you have anybody from Georgia?
Okay. Do I?
Yes.
No. My original family, well, for my mother's side, we're from Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, California, and Massachusetts areas.
Well, Jerry, there you go, Jerry. They from California.
Yeah. She was telling me she had mentioned about the river. Was it Garland or the Riverside area?
Yes, Riverside, California, and Los Angeles, Paris.
Yes, West Coast.
Lake Elsinore area, yeah.
Well, that's the connection.
To Jerry.
Mm-hmm. And she's in the
focus, Jerry.
My what?
Camera's out of focus.
She's in the 4th through 6th. She's a 4th through 6th relative. So.
On Ancestry?
Yeah.
Now, let's see here. By Jerry talking, I'm gonna look to see if you match me on where you match me.
Do you guys match with anyone named Barry Williams?
Barry Williams. Not offhand. I can check. I have a lot of Williams. I have a lot of in California.
Okay, and Monique Brown, they both came up as second cousins for me.
Monique Brown? Okay, let's see here.
Are you familiar with the Central Morgans and the different kind of measurements? How you can tell, like, how you can just differentiate between second and third cousins or nephews and nieces?
Okay.
Marquita?
Oh, I'm not sure. No.
Okay.
No, I'm not how to do that now.
Well, see, here's what we'll do. In your case, if this gentleman would take on the task, along with myself and you too, Garland, we'll serve as some mentors to you to help you through this journey, and we'll show you some of the tools that we use in order to find different relatives, and there are some techniques we use to reach out to them, and then you, with your research and efforts, you'll be able to connect with them. And
Okay.
we want to distinguish. We want you to be able to distinguish between your father's side and your mother's side.
Oh no, I've seen that part where you go down and find out the genealogy and look. Usually, I'll see my aunt or my uncle show up if it's my mother's side.
Mm-hmm.
And that tree is really vast. We kind of know it a lot. We go to our family reunion every year. We have somebody that manages that thing all the way through. So I know everything on my mother's side. So everything that's popping up now, I kind of know what cousins to click on and which ones are familiar with me. I pass by. The ones that I have been clicking on are all new people.
Oh, okay. And where does the Moss line come in?
The Moss line, it comes in only on my paternal side, so it's not connected on anything through the Prudo side or my mother's side. So only whoever my father is from your family.
Not mine.
Well, they definitely from mine. I'll claim her.
Well, there's no denying DNA, so I claim y'all right back.
Okay.
And Eddie, she's relatively new. Like she's just got her information last couple of days, and through my reach out messages, she responded, and then some of the information that I do have, I shared with her, and that's what revealed some personal information that she wasn't aware of.
Okay, so she comes to your DNA, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, pull up your DNA listing so we can see where she is.
All right.
How's that, Marquita? Is it Marquita?
I'm sorry? Yes.
Marquita? Well, Jerry's going to share you his DNA listing so you can see it.
Okay.
Now, what do we want to see?
Your listing, Jerry.
Okay, my DNA.
Where she match with you.
Oh, what she does?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
One moment, guys.
Here she is.
Oh.
There she is with, you see her
Okay,
connection. And
common.
well, here's where we go with our shared matches. And the first group of shared matches, she goes right into my grandson, Delon Moss, right there. She goes right into our, my close relatives.
She's 100% in your line.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then the next one is Faye Coleman, and she's 170 Central Morgan. So,
so her father came out of your line, your family tree, Jerry.
Well, you're not telling me nothing different, but it's not me.
So you communicate with Jerry. He really gets you going.
Yeah, so we are, and that's what this purpose is. And we just wanted to feel, we're new family to her, and we want to welcome her in. And like Garland is the same. So they enthusiastically, joining our group. And so we want to be able to, feed them.
No, I match with a Bowie, but his name is Sean Bowie. You ever heard of that name?
No, I only ones I know are my who I thought my father was Kenneth Bowie, my grandfather Robert Edward Bowie. His father was his senior, and they were from the Sherman, Texas area.
Ooh, you got a Roman Moss. Your Moss is running. Ooh.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, we'll go through the steps. Like number one, I'll, help her find the JED match. Sign up for JED match. give her the feedback on that. Have you heard about GEDmatch?
No.
Okay, yeah, we'll go over that. It's a platform that's very helpful, and then we'll just use our different tools and just slowly walk through and fill out your our family portrait.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay. I'll log on to GEDmatch. Since your DNA listing just came out, you said a couple of days ago.
Yes.
So you would really get started. What we want to, let's see. The first thing we want you to do, I'd like for you to do is get your raw data from Ancestry.
To get home?
Your raw data. All that information you have through Ancestry, you can get it in a raw form where you can upload it to other DNA websites.
Okay.
And so that's what we need to show you how to do. Jerry, you can do that, can't you?
Yes.
And just show her how to get her raw data. Then we can go over into GEDmatch, and she can get that set up real quick.
Okay. Now I'm using my phone, so I'll have to.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that now. That's gonna be at a breakout session between you and I.
Okay.
Again, this is an introductory session, and you get a chance to see individuals and some of the tools, and we get a chance to learn about yourself, and you get to learn about us.
I do.
Yeah, get to see, put a face to the to the voice.
I love it. I mean, it's nice to see you guys, and you guys are so into it. How long have you been looking for all your information?
For me, it's been a couple of years.
For me, it's been 15.
15?
Yes.
Wow.
15 years. I started, let me see, when did I start? I started right after my father passed away. I started researching. See, I wasn't raised by my father either, but I knew of him. But so when I got old enough, I started going back to visiting and stuff. And then when he passed away, I knew he had siblings, but then none of them came to his funeral. So that triggered me to figure out who's my father's family is. That's about it. So now I have a pretty good idea. I did my mother's side also. My mother's side is really, really large. My mother is a Moss also. So I am.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I'm in this group.
Okay.
So Eddie, did you eventually meet some of your relatives on your dad's side?
Yeah, I'm finding a lot now on my dad's side.
I mean, have you met him, talked to him, or have you built any kind of relationship with him?
Yeah, I have.
Mm-hmm. What's the closest one?
Closest one, I found the whole set of my father's brother's kids in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Your first cousins.
First cousins. I found them in New Jersey. And it's a big group out there.
Wow.
So that's what I found some. And then I linked them to some cousins in El Paso, Texas. I found them. And then there's some in Dallas, a lot of them in Dallas. So I've been getting them connected with too.
How are you and Jerry connected?
Well, that's what we're still working on.
Okay.
In our group we have many branches to the Mosses, surname Moss. So what we're doing as a group, we're trying to find that common branch, our common trunk for us to be a part of. So so that's the thing. And for my Moss side of the family, mine is from East Texas, started around Shreveport, Louisiana, and that way. So there's another branch there that we're trying to connect with everybody else.
Okay.
So I'm like you. I'm searching too.
Fun. This is gonna be fun.
See, I got in touch with Jerry, and we've been hitting it off pretty good. So Jerry's got another branch and stuff. So when we find that link, we're gonna shoot up some flares or some sparkles and say we all won.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Go on.
I don't. The other thing I kind of thought, and I could be wrong, completely wrong, because I can show you guys or share a picture of my dad, but there was a rumor that he was adopted, and that would be the other reason that I would think that there's no connection to the Bowie line. So if you have anybody in your thoughts that may have, put their child up for adoption, I can look into that side. I don't know.
Well, we have a gentleman, Garland, right, Jerry? Garland's doing the same thing you do, looking for his biological family also.
Okay.
So if he's still online, I don't think he's on. Is he online still, Jerry?
Yeah, he's listening. He's working.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So Eddie, let's continue with our agenda because we want the people to, the members, once we give them the recording, if they get that information, and you've done a lot of preparation, we would like to see that your presentation on Family Tree Maker. Are you prepared to do it?
I'm always prepared. Yeah, I can. What we want to do, one of the key things is to get the proper tools to do your research in.
Okay.
And one of the tools that I found and I use 100% is a program called Family Tree Maker. It was first put out by Ancestry, then it was sold to another company. But it's one of the best places to start. If you can get the software. If you can't, then you just put everything on paper until you can.
Okay.
And so in order to, one of the fundamentals is to start, when you start and do your research, start with your immediate family, which is you, your mom, or whoever you know, somebody that's immediate. And that's how you start building your tree. And then once you start building your tree, you can start doing the research, start researching, and the pieces are like a big puzzle. They'll start coming together the more that you start working on it. And that's when I started. So then I ended up purchasing the software so I could put all the information I found into a software that can keep track of what I do. And that's what Family Tree Maker is. It's a lot of them out there. Some out there one is called Root Magic, and then there's some called Family Tree Maker Heritage. And they're almost the same function. They all tie into Ancestry because Ancestry has the largest database for research on genealogy. And so those are some of the key things. Now, you want me to share a screen, Jerry, or you want to?
Yes. No. Go through your presentation.
Okay.
Let me see. Make sure you're set to go.
Okay. Now let me know if you can see my screen over here. You see this?
Yes.
Okay. This is the actual program here, and what it does. Let's go to the home page. Okay, this is the home page. And how I started, come on, baby. It's a big program, so it takes a couple of minutes. Okay, this is when you first start, say you want a new tree or you want to get started, you always start with you personally. Okay, let me see. We'll try to get a new tree here. I was helping Jerry, so I'm like I got stuff open. But what you want? Let's see, new tree. Start a new tree. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is like just like if you had a piece of paper and you want to get started on your information. The first thing you do in this program the same way is you put your name in there, your mother's name, your father's name, if you have it, and basically a birth date and a birthplace. Now this is for you also. You can put yours in there. And then what this program will start doing, the more information you put in it, the more it'll go out and start researching. Now, the thing about it, you have to have a Ancestry account in order for this to work properly. It to work to your advantage. But you can use it without being on Ancestry. You're just building your tree by yourself with no research. And in doing so, once you start in here, your tree, down here, if you see down here, these are all trees that I've created. To the right. This is my tree here. I have it named as Henderson, so I'm gonna open it up and show you what I've done. I have actually 12,000 people in my tree. Okay? Can you see this? Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna start with me. I was doing some research. This is how I started. Over here is me. I put in my wife's name, and then I knew my dad's name and my mother's name, so I put those in. I knew my dad's father's, and I knew my dad's mother's mother, and I knew my grandmother, my mother's father, and my mother's mother. And when I first started, this is where this is the first stuff I put in there. And then I put the information in, and then with Ancestry, it went out and started researching for the rest of my tree here. This is my grandfather's father, which is a moss. You see where the mosses are? This is where I come in as a moss, right here. And then from there, I go over and I find research and I put in the rest of them. But the tree does, the program does that. So all you do is put in information, and if you tie it into Ancestry will start building a search engine for you. And the more that you see it, and the way that it's searching, these leaves over here are called hints. Each one of these leaves has found some information on somebody in your family. So if you was just starting where you don't have no one, but you have, it could be your aunt or anybody that you have information on, you can put in this tree. They don't have to be a relative of yours. If you just stick them in there, then it'll go out and search those people for you. So you can start linking them back to who they are. Did I lose anybody yet?
No.
No, we're here.
Okay. So what I did, so since I started, and you see I have these leaves in here, what I also did, which I share with everybody, is that it gives you the opportunity to color code your lines, your genealogy lines, so your mother's side and your father's side, paternal and maternal sides. For instance, I gave mine some colors here. That's under all these colors you see in here. That's giving me information on whose side of the family they are and how are they connected. For instance, here, this is my grandmother, and it tells in the line my maternal mother's side of the line for me. and it's color coded. Anything you see yellow all through here is on my maternal grandmother's side of the family. And then if you see blue, it's on my maternal grandfather's side of the family. So you can color code your system, which is easier for you to keep track of who's who. So when you ask, well, I don't know, if you start building it in this program, you can say, okay, that certain person is on a certain side of the family. So I don't have to go through all this, because like I said, I got 12. See, I got up here 12,652 names in there. That increase every time I go out online and start searching.
Excuse me, Eddie.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I just want to introduce you to Garland. He was able to get connected with his video. There he is. Say something to us, Garland. Let's see if he has. Oh, is your audio working, Garland?
I was muted.
Oh,
I was muted. Hello.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Yeah, he's doing it both ways, which is cool.
So Garland, you heard what I said so far, right?
Yes, I heard him. I was
Okay,
able to get it.
I just want to make sure you hear what I'm saying. Okay, now, and I'm going basically off of the program that a lot of our researchers are starting to use too. It's a good program. You don't have to. It's what, expensive right now? It's $80 or something, but it's
104 delivered to your house.
what it is powerful. It answers all your questions that you might have when you start doing your research. You can create a lot of stuff in it and keep track. So then once you start getting this filled out, I'm gonna use mine because it's so large. Say say for instance, example, Marquita, say, okay, we find out we cousins. I mean, we find our line, right? So I'm gonna use the Moss line so we know that we're connected through a common person, which I'm gonna use as an example, Adam Moss, right here.
Okay.
Okay. Now you want to find out, okay, how do I find out exactly how many descendants or whoever they are that's part of his line, right? So
Right.
It has a program up here called Publish. This will create any information, charts, genealogy research, personal reports, anything about Adam Senior. It gives you charts, and basically what I use is the genealogy report, because that's what everybody asks the question about: who's who, where do I fit, what generation do I fit in? So it's two options over here, and I use the descendant, but I'm gonna run a report on this one here just for you to see. So in the program, it creates. Okay, that's the first time I use that one, so they're gonna create. It creates information that you can share with everybody else, like here. You see this, Garland? Because we're gonna end up doing this with you too. And I can do it. If you don't have a tree, I can actually create a tree for you, and I'll be the manager of it until you get the proper software and stuff to do it. All right,
What's the name of the software again?
Say that again, sir.
The name of the software again?
It's Family Tree Maker.
Okay.
Now over here, it gives me Adam Moss was first generation that I started with, and it goes backwards to who was in his generation, like his mother, his grandfather, and whoever he was with. Basically, from my grandfather back, he was one generation out of slavery.
Okay.
And this guy right here, John Herbert, was his guardian. Basically, what we found out in researching that my branch of Mosses was free, were free slaves, free blacks in America, but they had to have somebody to protect, to watch over them, which is this guy named John Herbert. He was considered a guardian of the free black people. And Lucy Moss was my great grandfather Adam's mother. And see, it puts all the information in here too.
Okay.
And this is a lot of stuff that we find in research. You start finding research that these are the questions that come up, and you want to see what they look like. So it goes back, and then you can go as far as, I have it set for 4 generations. This program can go as far as 10 generations back. And it also
10.
It can go back as far as 10 generations. And then you can include their parents. I can include, see, as I click over here, it adds more to who were their children that they had, the information on the children in the report.
And one thing that Eddie is graciously volunteered to do is to, with the information that you have, because each of you have information on your mother's side, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Garland, you do too, don't you? Well, with the information that you have on those trees that you've already connected, if you gave him a copy of that tree, Eddie, he can print you out a report like this. And could you, can't you imagine having that piece of paper that you can hand to somebody? You see,
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be very, and he has the technology to do that, and the experience to put it together. But like, again, we're family and we trust each other, so, but you'll have to trust the information you give to him, and he can make magic out of what you give him.
Wow. Would we be able to just share our sign-in with, or share our information that we've done on Ancestry?
Now,
okay.
What I see, I'm retired. I'm an old retired man now.
Ain't nothing old about you but your money.
So what I do, if you want, I can help you set yours up. I can actually help. You know, we can make a call just like we're doing now, a one-on-one Zoom meeting. We can set up one of those, and we can sit down just one-on-one, and I can do these things with you to get you started.
Okay.
And that's what
And one thing he's able to do too, once you're on the Zoom meetings, he'll set it up. He can remotely control your computer.
Yeah.
And help you through, the couple of steps, because he's done that with me, because just recently I just purchased this program and I have it now, and he gave me initial training, and at sometime during that training he had to come in, and I allowed him to have control of my computer, and he did that, and it cut through the chase, as opposed to telling me do this, do that. And then we were able to build a foundation, my family tree program. So I'm starting on it, and he's my mentor on this, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Because he's trying to work for retired men to death, you know that.
Oh man.
I've connected, matter of fact, I've done this with several of my cousins that I connected with, and within the last month. And we built trees, and I got them to purchase this program for that reason. And I do like a private, session, and I'm not one of these guys out here looking to get paid or nothing. I do this because I want everybody to know where their family's from. That's the whole function. We all have the same questions. You know, I couldn't find mine, so I said, well, heck, let me do some with somebody else. So it's a matter of just helping others research it. Because the more we find it, then the better we are. So that's time is not I don't have a price on time or anything like that. So if you want to get it done, if you really serious about researching your family, then I can work with you. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. If it's not me, it's one of us in the group can. You know.
Okay.
Jerry sitting up there like he's the captain of the ship. So we gotta work around Jerry.
Man.
And what I did to share with you again, I did another report. This is for generations going the other way. One was going in the past. This was going to the future of the descendants of my great-great-grandfather. And here I selected 6 generations. So I can print out and show you 6 generations of my relatives from my great-grandfather's children all the way down to their children for 6 generations.
Oh, wow.
And so it also, if any picture I have will come up in here. So for instance, Adam Sr. is my great-great-grandfather. It gives all his children and who they married, and if they had children, it also produces it for up here. See it? And it breaks it down how they're related to one another. Just like, say, for one here, Mary Moss is the daughter of Adam Moss Sr. and Catherine McIntosh. So that's how they're connected. That's how they're connected. And it gives and all this information here is what I found, and through the program, it puts it together to create a story for each individual that you have. And see, and I'm gonna go see if I can find mine. My mother is way down. My grandfather was the youngest of 14. So can you imagine the information I have? And his name was Gabriel Moss. This is my grandfather here. And so it goes and tells, this is a picture of my grandfather and my grandmother, which was Gabriel Moss, and my grandmother was named Audie Bell Moore. And it prints out when they got married, where they met, where they died, and then it goes down and shares all other stuff. So it gives you a detailed report once you have it. Just like when the kids come and how I want to, Mom, who's my family? My grandson, all I do is say, okay, who you want him to know? And I print it out, give it to him, and he takes it to school, and it's in detail. But the program does this, not me, the program does this. I just put in some of the information. I feed some of the information in there for it. And once you generate it, you can also share it with everybody. I can send this out to anybody through email. And I tell them, I said, mine is up, but if I generate mine, it's 200 something pages.
Oh, wow.
And then, yeah, go ahead, question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it does, you can also create a family book. People always holler about, well, I don't want to share information. That's where you're going to run into. People don't want to give you information because they're scared that you're going to create a book and leave them out of it. So that's one of the things. Now this right here, it keeps a collection of all your photographs and anything, any information that you find. It's called a gallery. So all these pictures and stuff that I have here are actually in my genealogy tree. Let me show you. This is my family of Mosses. Okay, let me see. This is my grandmother right here. This is my grandfather back here. This is Gabriel Moss. This is my mom right here. Her name is Eula. My mother was the second youngest. This is my aunt. She was the baby of the family. So all these are here are her brothers and sisters. Everybody stand up here are brothers and sisters. So I keep a picture in there. So this is what it does. It stores everything that you have once you put it in there.
Okay.
The only question in this picture we have is who's this little baby right here? We don't know who that is. That's one of the grandkids or somebody. We don't know who that is, but we keep them. So in collection, so you have everything in here. Once you start, you won't lose anything unless your computer crashes. But you can save. You have the ability to back up your information on a flash drive or something like that, and always have it. And let's see. I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm giving you a quick outlook on what this is. Okay. The next step is we have Adam. Okay. Again, anytime you highlight a name in there, if you highlight a name in this program, that's who you're working with directly to find information on. Like if I wanted somebody else, I highlight somebody else. And what it does, it goes over and it puts you in this category over here. See all my mosses on this side? All these are mosses. So it gives me all them that I have in here. So if I want to do a direct finding out information, I select person. And what that does, it gives you a printout, information here. And where you can get all the resources, it tells you where all the resources you found the information from on Ancestry. And then over here, it puts it in categories. Like when you start doing a lot of research, you find a lot of duplication of information. Which I do, I combine all information. And I'm doing it through this program here. See, it cleans up, because online with Ancestry, you're going to find a lot of duplication, but this program helps you clean it up. See how fast it cleans it up? And it gives you a printout, a timeline, a fact about one particular person. And that's Adam Moss. It tells you where he was born, where did he live, and what year was he there. And civil means when he signed up for military, what location did he do it? And I can track him to the time where he was buried. I also I have the information in there what cemetery he's buried at. So it'll give you everything you need in there. When did he marry my great grandmother? It gives that marriage time in there. And you can also put notes down here. Whatever you find, if it's not in your findings, put it down here. For instance, Garland and Marquita, you can put in there, say, hey, I was adopted by such family. Or I was adopted by this way, I don't know. You can put notes in there so when you run reports, that piece of information will come up in your report also. So if they ask you, say, okay, how do I know? Well, this is what I have. And they can read the report and say, okay, she was adopted, she didn't know her parents, or he was adopted, or he was raised by a grandmother, but they didn't know anything else. So those are notes that you can carry, you can put in there for you to keep track of it. And then other thing on here under person, you can do a timeline. And see where the timeline starts. He was in Georgia in 1849. In 1870, he was in outside of Savannah. And then in 1881, he got married. At this time, in 1870, he moved from Savannah to Texas. Now, you know what happened during that time, how we got into Texas, don't you? Blacks and slaves got into Texas through the migration from the South because of the war, and plus they wanted to keep slavery. So Texas and that area, Arkansas and all them territories was allowing slaves. So they brought a lot of the southern slave owners, brought all their property, which was us, to different states where they can still maintain slavery. So that's how my grandfather and most of our family got to where they are. Just like Garland's from Brenham and all that area there, your family's from where your family is, because they was moving slaves all over the place. And the only record that we have was the slave records without names. So that's where you can see where my family, actually part of my family came through the Trail of Tears when they moved all the Native Americans from the southern states to Oklahoma and put on reservation. My family was one in that group, and so it's in here. I have a big report on part of my family like that. But all this stuff is generated too in this program where you have it. So what I talk about, you can read about it.
That's awesome.
And then the next, and then there's a thing for relationship. Here it prints out. If you see here, it prints out the relationships that you have. Okay. Now, over here, if you know, say for instance, your dad, the dad you was raised by was not your dad, but you knew his name, and you know he's tied to your mom. Okay.
Yeah.
You put it in there, and it'll show that it's a spouse, but you can. This program gives you the leniency to put in there something private. Maybe he was just a friend or a partner, or your mom was single or something like that. And you put it in the category. And then down here it says ongoing. In 1851, they wasn't ongoing anymore. They could have died. So I always you can put it in there deceased, or what type of relationships they had at the time with that certain person. And it also could put unknown in there too. See, unknown. But mine was deceased. So then in relationships, it shows all the kids that they had together. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See all of, and they tell you if they were biological children. If they're biological, if not, you go over here and see it. Biological, adopted, stepchild, foster child, or related, or some whatever you want to categorize it.
Okay.
So that gives you a lot of information. You can generate a lot of information that you need. And this will show up in a report, a genealogy report, exactly how you have it. And that's that report I showed you earlier. I shared with you earlier that I created. It would tell you in that printout, in that report, this person was not related but was adopted to the group, and it's there for you, so people will know.
Okay.
So this is what I did. This is a quick overview of what this program can do. It can do a lot. It'll do a lot. But until you use the program, what you do everything by hand, by paper, and you have to keep, write down your notes and stuff. And if you don't have to get this program. Some family tree research software, it has the same capabilities as this will, but not on a broad base. And this is all tied in to genealogy. And one thing about here, once you get it here, if you create a tree on Ancestry, the tree is up there. And you're working in this program here, you go over here and it's what they call sync. And what syncing does, when you make changes, when I make changes without going on Ancestry over in this program, I can tell it to sync it, and it'll go out and sync to what's already on Ancestry website, like it's doing now. And once they sync together, then you know the information on Ancestry is up to date on what you have on your Family Tree Maker, which is on your computer, which is you can utilize, you can work on it without being online, and you can work on it with being online. So it's an option there. Yes.
Eddie, which program should I talk to first, Ancestry or Family Tree Maker? Excuse me.
Say that again.
Family Tree Maker or Ancestry on mine, with that challenge that I have with mine about syncing. Which one should I call first? Support Ancestry.
Family Tree Maker.
Call Family Tree Maker.
Yeah.
And tell them what's going on.
Yes.
Okay. I called Ancestry, and they were going to hold me up for about 30 minutes, and I didn't have time for that.
Yeah, that's what. Now I have the other program that they talk about, which is called Root Magic, but Root Magic is so hard to maneuver.
Now we're good with this.
Okay. So if you want to know what the other one looked like, I can show you what it looks like. But it's so this one is what it's doing now. It's actually syncing. It's going through all 12,652 names, and it's looking for changes. Just like I changed something while I was talking to you, I did some changing. So it's going out. What'd you say?
Oh no, I just said okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So what it did, I changed it. I changed some information. Now it's going to take the change that I created in Family Tree Maker and rewrite it on the Ancestry online tree.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a program that definitely, especially if you seriously are trying to find out about your family, or keep records of it. Because I tell you what, now I have connected families in Long Beach, California, Houston, Texas, in Northern California. So and every time I talk to them, I can tell them exactly where you belong in my tree. And it's like it's a lot of us. It's a lot now that know me personally because I did it this way. So it helps out when you communicate with new family members. It's like, for instance, you told Jerry, Jerry, I'm kin to you, but where? I don't know where. In this program, once you start building it, you can go, okay, you're in my third generation. Let's go back and look at all my third generation and see if any of the names are familiar. If you don't know the names, but you said this is where you should be looking to find out what this is our connection. So you can do that.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's gonna be an investment you're gonna have to make.
Yeah. And I made an investment. I bought every one that came out. Now here, where it says I did some changing and there's some conflict, but since I know which one's done, I say let Ancestry Online correct it because that's where I worked online first.
Okay.
And so it'll go out there and it'll correct all that. And then it gives a detail. You see, I added 13 people I add one media, that was a picture. I added 6 resources and 37 criteria. Now the changes, I had 79 criteria changes. That's criteria, that means like your information like a birth certificate or something like that I found. And it tells you here. It only deleted one thing, one person I took away. Then it tells you the changes from Family Tree Maker. It tells you how many changes I made. I added 2 people. I made 61 changes, and I deleted, and it's going to delete 37 people out of there. And it goes out, it corrects all that. And you just say, that's what syncing does. It makes sure everybody is correct, all information is corrected.
Okay.
And then once it's finished, it'll go, boom, it's finished. So we can do something. It's doing some work that I had, so it's done. So all this is up to date.
Well, thank you very much for that webinar on this program. It was very helpful, and you know, I definitely can look at it and be able to go over different steps as I kick the tires as I go through it, and I'll also be, you know, contacting you to have another, you know, Zoom meeting like we did previously.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I will be following up and contacting Family Tree Maker and ask them to help me synchronize my Ancestry and Family Tree Maker.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any questions?
Yes. How would you be able to? How can I hook you up with Garland and Marquita?
Okay. Let me see. I see.
You want to go through the chat, or you want to? Oh, no.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send them my email address. That way, you can send me a notification if you want to talk with me or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I'll do it. I'll give a summary, and I'll connect you three together through an email.
Okay. Well,
I'll do it that way.
I just send. Okay. That way we'll know, we have information, and so you can do it that way, right, Jerry?
Yeah. So they'll be able to follow up.
You're so close to Jerry, I'll bug Jerry to death if I was you. He got all your information.
Jerry's gonna be my new best friend.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Say, hey, cuz.
How you doing today?
Well, you know, we're running about an hour here, and what we'll do is we'll sort of shut it down, but we'll have some closing comments, and then that other part of the agenda about next week, I'll be doing a demo on outreaching to new members. You know, the method I'll do that, start that off next week. So we'll be meeting next week, same time, same station. We'll be able to do some recruiting, talk to some of your family members, and then we'll just keep this synergy going, and I'll be sending the recording out, and this is our first truly educational webinar, Eddie, and we truly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Us.
Hey, so I couldn't participate much today, but I did it definitely informative, and I appreciate you doing that, Eddie. And I'll be in touch, and I'm gonna bug you. So look for me.
All right. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Laquita, any closing comments?
Same here. I mean, very informative. So much on day 2 or 3. Thank you both so much. And I probably will be bugging you both as well.
What about you, Champ?
I'm glad I get a chance to share with this. I mean, I think I've been waiting a long time to share this, stuff like this, because we all looking for the same thing: who we are, how we connected. So if we and the thing about I like to get people that's going to actually do it and find out where. You get some that they want to just find out one particular thing about the family, then they quit. It's more to that than just finding out yours, because it's worth it in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I can help out any way I can.
Well, you definitely are, and what's been developing here over a period of time is we're starting to see each individual has certain talents, and
I got the gift of gab.
And what we're doing is we're sharing, these skills and talents with each other. Because previously I had one of my cousins who was on here. She did some investigating. If you give her a couple of names, she can check. She has this program that she can investigate and get additional information that she paid for, but she knows how to use that tool. So that's what she does. And as you see, Eddie, he has this talent to do this particular research technique, and that's what I'm saying. We're going to be relying on each other and sharing what we know, and it helps us, because everything we touch turns to gold. All this information is treasures, and it's good to be able to share it. We're not hoarding it. As much as we can, we're sharing it. I have had more days behind me than I have in front of me, so I have a sense of urgency of sharing the wisdom, the knowledge, and the skills that I have with others, and especially the ones who are too new to this adventure. And so let's climb the mountain together.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I can't. Yeah. Oof.
So your goal right now is to start sitting down, writing down all the information you have.
I'm getting ready to go on mine, Eddie, man. Thanks for letting me out. I'm gonna even have my second monitor by next week. Okay, everybody. Hey, God bless you. I'll be getting this recording out to you during the week, and let's keep the lines of communications open, huh?
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
You too.
Bye.
Hello.
Okay. That's a wrap on the meeting. We shared a lot of information, and
That's how we do it on this west side. And I know it's the best side. Yeah. That's right. West Coast. West Coast. California love. California love.